If you're watching this, you're probably like I was, stuck. After 10 years of being addicted to porn, after hitting rock bottom with real women, after trying blockers, apps, accountability groups, and still failing, I finally decided enough is enough. This is my real, raw, 30-day journey of quitting porn using my behavior science background after everything else failed me. And listen, I didn't even know I had a problem at first. I thought everyone watched porn just as much as I did. I didn't even think it was that big of a deal until I watched porn so much that I couldn't even get a full erection with a real girl. And the shame hit, and the loneliness set in, and then I realized that I caused this on myself. And the worst lie that I kept telling myself was I can stop anytime that I wanted to. Spoiler alert, I couldn't. And if you're here, maybe deep down, you can't either. So in this video, you're gonna see everything. The ugly days, the breakthrough, the science behind why quitting is so hard, and how I used hypnosis, out of all things, to rewire my brain. And if you ever felt stuck, broken, or like you're missing out on life that you could be living, this video is for you. Let's get into it. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I've already felt some temptations. So one thing I realized is social media is full of triggers. Posts, stories can already trigger down a spiral that you don't want to go down. So one thing I've been trying to do myself is putting not interested or just swiping past as soon as I see it. Put not interested on the posts that trigger you, unfollow the people that post that certain kind of content, because that's where it starts. So just as a fair warning for you, social media is full of these kind of triggers, so just eliminate them. Okay, so this is day 3 of the journey, and it could be all in my head, but I feel a lot better already because, I mean, the old me probably would have done it like 2-3 times by now, to be really honest with you. I feel a lot more focused. Now, I know I touched on social media a little bit yesterday, but I'm deploying everything I have about solving the problem this time. So another thing that I did was I actually turned my phone to grayscale. Now everything I see on my phone is black and white. You know, even if you see the same image, but you see it in black and white, it's a lot less lifelike. You know, it's a lot less tempting to go back. And that helped me out a lot because it's less rewarding. You know, it's less rewarding in the brain. So that might help you guys out as well. And I know you guys might be thinking like, dude, why are you always walking around for? Like, just sit down, right? But one thing I noticed was I would sometimes watch porn just because I was bored. Just because I had an extra 20-30 minutes, I'd say, hey, okay, let's go on Instagram, let's go through pages, or let's watch a couple of videos just to fill the time, right? Because it's rewarding. Like, it rewards your brain in a sense. So just filling my time with doing something else. You know, I'm walking a little bit more. I have a pull-up bar in my backyard. I'll just do some pull-ups. I'll read. Finding other ways to fill the gaps in my day where porn used to be. Because soft porn, even social media and stuff like that, that would take up a long amount of my day just because I had nothing to do. So just by finding things to do, finding things that actually I enjoy, because I enjoy walking, I enjoy reading, I enjoy working out. So replacing those where I would have watched porn or done something else, I feel like that's also helping me. We're out on another walk is because I found a gap in time and the urges came back up. So instead of going back to old patterns, like I mentioned in the clip before, I'm filling up my time with other things. Now, let me tell you why this used to be a big problem. So I work from home. So I could work on my laptop, I could work on my phone. And because I could work from home, it's like a privilege and it was a bit of a curse. Because I had the laptop right in front of me the entire day. I had my phone in my hand the entire day. And before, it was bad. I mean, I would try to work and I would try to focus. And I would try to focus on what was right in front of me, which is the phone call I needed to make. And it got to a point where I would get distracted and I would end up on like a binge. I would watch porn for like an hour and a half, 2 hours straight, just watching it. And then looking back up and then just thinking, why did I do that? Like, where did all my time go? Why is that happening? And those were the points I felt the lowest, just because, one, not only did I break a promise to myself, but two, I deliberately made myself less money. Because in sales, you make as much money as you want to make. And so I was just taking away from myself. And that wasn't like a one-time thing either. You know, it happened a lot. And yes, we're at the park again. But on a serious note, I mean, like last night, I did have a very strong temptation, like super strong. And even though I like want to stop really bad, one thing I found is you always have this voice in the back of your mind, and it kind of tells you what to do sometimes. And back then, I would always listen to the voice. And it feels kind of weird, like being completely open about this, but I feel like it needs to be done, because I know a lot of people have gone through so many stages of promises and relapse, probably hundreds of times. The more I kind of done some research on it, it's really not our fault, because of how porn hijacks our dopamine. It's as bad as a drug addiction as far as like the chemicals go in the body, but it's worse because it's always at our disposal. You know, we don't have to get more, or we don't have to run out. But one thing I find pretty crazy is how much time I have now. Like, it's sad to say, but I mentioned earlier, it used to take up hours of my day. And now I'm hitting workouts with my friends like 2 times a day. I'm still running. I'm able to take walks at the park. I still get my work done at home. And it just like feels so good. With me, I'm excited to see how I feel on week 2 or 3, because I'm still in like the honeymoon phase, right? I've gone 4 days before and kind of went back, but I haven't gone 3 weeks. I haven't gone 4 weeks. So I'm excited to see just how I start to feel better as the weeks go on, just because I'm already starting to feel more confident. And let me tell you, the temptations are tempting, especially on social media. And even though you try to skip past it, and even though I'm clicking not interested on post, there's still some stuff that comes up. But I know I touched on this the other day. Putting your phone on black and white, you know, the grayscale, putting it all the way down or all the way up, is game changing. Like, I truly think that's what's really, really helped me a lot. Putting your phone on grayscale. And another good news is I just finished the hypnosis audio, so I'm gonna start listening to that today. And I know a lot of people might think like, why am I gonna do the hypnosis? Well, I actually already do the hypnosis for a lot of other people. So I'm very excited for that. I'm very confident it's gonna make it a lot easier for my mind to just completely forget about it. Because hypnosis is powerful. Like, it's not even woo-woo, it's scientifically proven thousands of times with thousands of studies. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick check, because I did go on a hike this morning. That was very fun. But once I got back from the hike and I was kind of laying down for a little bit because I was tired, scrolling through social media, that's when the urges start to kick in, you know, when my mind is blank. So if you guys are still going through this journey with me, please turn your phone on black and white. Even just a little bit, even just try it out, or even put it halfway. But it makes a huge, huge difference. And click not interested on those posts and unfollow those people, because triggers are triggering on social media. At least for me, something so small used to set me off. But I'll see you guys on day 6. I know I keep on saying this, but the temptations are very, very tempting, especially when it comes to things like soft porn. If you guys don't know what soft porn is, I'll give you guys a little bit of an explanation. So there's obviously different things like hard porn, which is P-Hub, Xvideos, other things. And then there's things like soft porn. That can be social media posts. That can be, I don't know, that's like the only thing I can really think of right now. Or I guess the only thing that like affected me. Social media posts on Snapchat, Instagram, you know, maybe some ads even that you see on YouTube that they make purposefully to kind of catch your attention and things like that. Because no matter how much you try to distance yourself from things like soft porn, it pops up everywhere. So you just got to learn how to be okay with it. Because as guys, you just kind of have to understand that we're going to have temptations. You know, you're going to get random stiffies throughout the day. You're going to have thoughts. You're going to have urges. And it's not all bad. Like, it's natural. It means you're healthy. It means, you know, it just means you're a guy. So I think learning to be okay with it and not acting on it is a super big part. But I just want to say one thing before I kind of leave it off to day 7. I feel like my confidence is coming back. I feel like I was always a pretty confident guy, but just having the feeling and knowing that I can, because I used to do it a lot. Like, I've been spending hours a day sometimes on it. Sometimes masturbating 2 or 3 times a day. And then now 0 for 6 days. Like, I feel confident. And I don't know if this is scientific or whatever, but I'm starting to have a lot of vivid dreams. I don't know if, I have no idea if this is like something to do with it, but I'm having vivid dreams and I could remember them like a lot. Day 7. And today I want to tell you guys kind of an embarrassing story that happened because of my problem. But I remember there was this one time I went over to this girl's house, and if you're watching this, it wasn't about you. I'm sorry. It was obviously on me. But I drove like all the way to her house. I was very excited. I don't know. I felt like I kept on going back to experiences because I felt like maybe this time would be different. And I guess in a way that mindset is good. But I drove to her house and things were going well. I mean, she was having a good time. Like, I just couldn't fully let go and enjoy myself in the moment. I was too much in my head, and obviously I had that issue. And it was getting so bad because she kept on trying, right? Which is normal. I mean, like, we went to her house to actually do that. And she just kept on trying. And I was getting so embarrassed that I called my friend. Well, I actually texted my friend to call me and say that he needed me to go over because him and his girl are having a fight. He doesn't even have a girlfriend. I just told him to say that so I could leave because I was getting so embarrassed. That's like one of those memories where I hope no one has to experience that. But I know a lot of guys have. And I could go on, there's a bunch of stories like that. But that was one that happened very recently and that is very stuck in my mind because I shouldn't be having to go through this, right? And I know I called this on myself. I was watching a couple YouTube videos and it says a lot of guys were able to cure themselves after like day 60, day 90. So I'm excited now that I have like a visible timeline, kind of like being able to see and focus on the end of the tunnel. Like, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So that's what it feels like right now. I'm pretty excited. No, I'm not outside today. It's a little bit of a change of scenery as I'm in Texas right now. I'm usually in California. I'm coming in for an event. So I'm staying busy, which is #1 key thing. But I will admit, since I was like a bit nervous and like anxious to come to the airport and actually come over to Texas, the night before, so last night, I was battling a little bit. You know, I was kind of going back and forth with myself. But one thing I kept playing in my head is if you give in, again, it's like trying to let a scab heal and you keep picking at it. Like, it's never gonna work. And it's easy to say, but it's hard to do. And I know it's a hard journey, but I also know it's possible because people have done it before. So we're gonna keep shredding. But one huge thing is to stay busy. Or at least that's what's helping me, you know, staying active and keeping my mind occupied. See you on back to day 9. One thing I'm really excited about is the hypnosis audios that I made. Because it's like almost having a superpower to back you up. A lot of us, or really all of us, we tend to follow these like invisible instructions our mind gives us throughout the day. Not just with this, but you know, what we think, what we eat, what we do, how confident we are. And hypnosis is almost like fixing those instructions and giving you better ones so you can be porn free, you know, so you can eat better, so you can be more confident. One thing I'm very happy with that I did do besides the hypnosis was tracking. I mean, making these videos about it. Like, try to track yourself. It doesn't have to be videos, but keep a journal. Because this is a problem for me, at least, where I feel like I can't really be open about it to people. Like, who can I tell? You know, who can I talk to about this? Obviously, if you're married, if you have a partner, you can always talk to your partner. But I don't have like one single person. I didn't want to just be telling everyone about it, even that's what I'm doing right now. So if you're going through this journey, like, keep a tracking system for yourself. Maybe notes, maybe a journal, But just record your thoughts, record your feelings, because I feel like this is one thing that is really helping me. I wanted to break down some crazy research that I just saw recently. So back in the 90s, about 5% of guys under 40 battled with erection issues. Problem? Yes. But it's like a little problem. Like 5% isn't anything major. But now, as in like 2025, it's closer to 50%. Think about it. That's 1 in 2 guys have to go through these embarrassing moments. Now, is it all porn induced? Maybe not. But think about how much more accessible it is now compared to back in the 90s. Like back then, they didn't have portable screens everywhere. They didn't have access to it whenever they wanted to. They didn't have social media feeding it to them even when they don't want it. Like back then, you were lucky to find a nice magazine. But like all jokes aside, I obviously have to take responsibility for this. But it is heavily pushed on us now. And seeing those numbers made me feel a little bit less lonely with this issue. And I will say staying busy is helping a lot. So stay busy and stay tuned. Hello, day 11. I know I'm looking pretty rough. I wasn't able to shave or get a haircut recently, but I told you guys I'm in Texas for an event. It's like a behavior profiling event, and I'm learning some pretty cool stuff that I think might be able to help you guys out because I'm going to implement it, and I feel like it's definitely going to help me out. One thing that they use for brainwashing is changing up their environment, whether that be shaving up their head, putting them in different scenarios, kind of overloading, putting them in new novel situations, so that way you have no like patterns or scripts for how to act. Because usually when we get caught in bad habits, it's in the same room, we're feeling the same feeling, we're doing the same actions, so we just follow along the same path. It's like if you walk through the snow for years and years and years using the same path, that path gets pretty worn out, right? So if you have a bad habit or you want to start a new habit, change something in your environment. Whether that be getting a new haircut, paint your room, get a new car, switch the wrist that your watch is on. Just change something up in your environment so that way you have new beginnings, so you have no scripts for how to act. So I'm definitely going to use that like starting today. I usually brush my hand with my right. I'm going to change it up to the left. I'm going to sleep on the other side of the bed. I might switch up my haircut, who knows? But I feel like, I'm going to move a couple things around in my room as well. So I feel like doing that, it's going to be enough new environment to where I can build new behaviors. So implement that. Let me know how that goes for you. And yeah, we'll see you on day 12. And I know I mentioned to you guys that I felt very lonely, like going through this, especially almost 10 years. I didn't feel like I had anyone to talk to. But now that I'm filming these videos and I'm starting to just become open about this, I've told 3 of my closest friends about this problem and about the videos that I'm making and about the journey that I'm going through. And all 3 have told me that they've had the same problem. All 3 of them. 3 random friends. They're not even related to each other. They're just my closest friends. And 2 of them told me that they had embarrassing moments of ED because of porn. So just imagine how many people are struggling with this deep down. Now, it's not hard to see how 50% of guys under 40 struggle with it. After talking to 3 people, and 3 people told me they had the exact same thing. So I just wanted to let you guys know that while it might seem like you're going through it alone and you can't really talk to anyone about it, you're not going through it alone. A lot of people are struggling with this deep down, and they just don't want to open up about it. And it's hard to open up about it. I mean, it took me 10 years to do it. But speaking of the journey, the hypnosis audio that I made, that I've been listening to every night, it's helped me so much. My urges are going all the way down. And I'm just feeling more focused and more productive throughout the day. So it's very helpful. Other than that, I'll see you tomorrow. I was really looking back at it recently, like just kind of reminiscing about everything. And honestly, I remember feeling that this problem was so life-ruining. Like I'll never recover from this. This is just like gut-wrenching whenever it happened. Like in the moment where I would give in to those temptations, In the moment where I couldn't get it up all the way, man, it actually did feel like my world was ending. It felt like it was just on fire. And I honestly let that wreck my confidence, like, for a long time. You know, I told myself a lot of shitty things, like, you're not a real man, you never fix this, you never get over this, and a bunch of other kind of garbage that my mind threw at me. And I was honestly my own worst enemy, and I probably kept myself stuck for a long time. But now that I'm starting to really recover from this, I'm starting to see it for what it really is. So yes, it's embarrassing. Yes, it definitely sucked. But did it actually ruin my life? No. So here's what I'm learning now. The first step to moving forward is just radical self-forgiveness. Not just a little bit, not just like halfway, but just full on, let it go forgiveness. Because if you're not going to forgive yourself now, then your future self is just going to stay stuck. And I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I don't want to stay stuck for any longer. For much longer, at least. So, day 13, we're going strong. And we'll see you on day tomorrow, 14. And it's day 14. And as you can see, I finally got a haircut. And recently, I've been diving really deep into addiction recovery and diving deep into hypnosis so I can help myself out a little bit more. And I read something that really hit me hard. And it felt like I just needed to hear it now. And it said that every action, even the bad ones, meets a need. So think about it. When we're hungry, we eat. People smoke when they're stressed. And it solves the problem. So it meets a need. Even though it's killing them. And yeah, some people watch porn. And some people do you know what. Just to pass the time, just to escape. Or just to feel a little bit better. Even if it's just for a little moment. And that was me. I mean, it wasn't just a bad habit. It was taking up a lot of my time. And here's just something that I've been noticing. Sometimes, I wish I would have known this sooner, but sometimes just stopping isn't going to cut it. You have to replace it with something better. I feel like you need something that's actually going to light you up. That you can replace where the dopamine is coming from. It could be walking, petting your cat, your dog, playing with them, throwing on your favorite song, or your favorite podcast. I mean, hell, today I was feeling a little bit bored, and usually I would have given in to the urge, but I was just I just threw on my favorite song and I started dancing like crazy. My dog probably thought I was crazy. You could do that. Listen to the hypnosis track to help you out. Anything that just really shifts your focus. You know what? It's getting easier. Being alone, staying disciplined, it doesn't feel like such a fight anymore. I think it's because of some new strategies that I'm implementing, and the hypnosis is definitely helping out. So 2 weeks free, and for the first time, this feels really good. It feels permanent. I learned a lot going to Austin for the behavior profiling event a few days ago. And one thing that they mentioned, and keep in mind, they are experts in what can be considered the deepest levels of influence. They gave us this tip to stop doing bad habits. And let me tell you, it works wonders. So yes, I'm listening to my hypnosis track and my urges are starting to go way down. But I'm human, so they naturally come up. So the tip that they gave us that works for everything, porn use, binge eating, smoking, anything. Whenever you're in the area where you used to do the bad habit, or you get triggered a lot, or you feel the habit coming on, or you have the slightest thought, get the fuck out of there. Go to a different room, go inside, go outside, just get out. If you feel the slightest urge, just get out of that environment. And what it's doing, it's interrupting the cycle, which helps me not fall into the trap anymore. So this is just another tool that I'm keeping in my tool belt to make sure that this time stopping is the last time stopping. And doing this for a few times that, I've needed to, I honestly get distracted doing something else. So it fills my mind. So it helps a lot. If you're going through the struggle, again, please use at least some of the things that I'm doing because it's helping a lot. Ever since I discovered that porn-induced erectile dysfunction is something that I've been going through, I've been researching it. And in case anyone is still unsure what it is, let's talk about it in a way that actually makes sense. So imagine that you have a superhero mode. It's like a superpower. But instead of using it for cool stuff to lift cars or save the world, you just keep pressing a button that makes you feel strong and feel good without actually doing anything. And at first it feels amazing and it feels great. But over time, your real strength and the real power, it gets weak because you're not actually using it. So to switch those words around, and that's porn-induced erectile dysfunction in a nutshell. Your brain is like a machine, and it's built to respond to real connection. So when you watch way too much porn, your brain starts thinking this is how you get pleasure from a screen. And it stops responding the way it's supposed to with real experiences. So the more you press the feel-good fake button with porn, the less the body reacts when it actually matters, with a real person. It's like if you let your kid eat candy for every single meal. At first, it might be good and it might taste good, but after a while, they're gonna start to feel weak and they're not even gonna think real food is exciting anymore. But the good news is that our brains are smart and our body is amazing. So the brain and body can bounce back, and they will. You just have to stop pressing the fake button and start using your real superpower again, or for the first time. It's not gonna happen overnight, but it's just like training your muscles when you go to the gym. You can get your powers back, and I'm gonna get my powers back. I hope that explanation helps. And it's wild just to sit here outside and like fully grasp that I did this really to myself. Like no one else did this but me. It's just one single lie that I told myself hundreds of times that I'll stop. The same promise that I broke to myself just as many times. And now just like looking back at all the damage, like all the wasted hours, all the stolen motivation, all the nights and even all the days, kind of looking back at the clock and just thinking to myself, where did all the time go? Those brutal dopamine crashes. It just leaves you feeling empty, feeling drained, feeling like stuck in the same cycle. Like I've never been addicted to drugs or anything like that, but it felt like an addiction. But you know what they say? The best time to plant a tree is 10 years ago, and the second best time is now. So we keep pushing, and I'll see you on day 18. And yesterday I talked a little bit about dopamine. So I kind of want to break down something that I've been dealing less with ever since I stopped watching porn. And it's brain fog. Like I never knew how much porn actually affected my mind. And like from a scientific approach, it makes sense. Like the brain runs on chemicals that make you feel good, which is dopamine. And every time you watch porn or you finish, like you masturbate, your brain gets like a huge hit of that dopamine. And it's kind of like a cheat code for pleasure. And it's easy to go after that stuff because it's not like reading, or it's not working out, or it's not doing something like hard. But the thing is, whenever you get that easy, huge hit of those feel-good chemicals, at least for me, everything else felt like boring. Even talking and hanging out with people that I really cared about, I didn't want to do it. But now, I'm having way less brain fog because my brain isn't used to those like huge dopamine spikes anymore. I'm getting my dopamine from better places, like going on jogs, going to the gym, hanging out with people. And I'm able to just focus a lot more now because I have like so much more time and it feels amazing. So I kind of wanted to break that down just in case anyone else is struggling with the same problem. But we're almost to day 30 and I'm really excited about that. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Something very strange happened to me last night. And it's something I'm kind of embarrassed about. We all heard of like wet dreams. You think you're doing the goods, but you're just dreaming. Well, I had a dream last night, and instead of me dreaming of doing the goods, I dreamt of me watching porn. Like, I was watching porn on my phone screen. It was really weird. I don't know if anyone has done that before. So if you kind of dreamt about porn, let me know. I gotta share something that really hit me hard today. I went to the gas station and I saw this tobacco sign smack on the door. And in big, bold letters, it said, "This stuff can and most likely will kill you." And yet, people still buy it. And I used to think, man, these people are like idiots. Like, why keep going back to it? But then the big old smack came. Then the realization came. I was doing the exact same thing. Like, I knew porn was wrecking my body, my confidence, my focus, my relationships, but I kept going back. And the biggest lie that I told myself was just one more time, just one more video, just one more Instagram profile, just one more day. I could stop whenever I want. But the truth is, it's not about just one more. It's about that mental loop that keeps you stuck. And the same thing that kept smokers smoking kept me going back to porn. It's called cognitive dissonance. And it's like when your brain knows something is bad for you, but it makes excuses so that way you feel okay doing it. And those excuses, they're just lies. They're just lies that I told myself to make me feel better about that. You know, it's the same thing like if you don't want to eat candy and then you tell yourself candy's not that bad, or one piece won't hurt. It's just a lie. So if you're on this journey with me, just please catch yourself in the lie. Stop playing the game and it will get better. I promise. There's a lot of embarrassing moments that this problem has caused, but I feel like one specifically always sticks with me. You know, things were going good. We were kissing in her room, getting close, getting closer. But when the actual moment came, like nothing happened. And I tried to push through it. You know, I tried to wake him up, but like it barely worked for a few seconds. And then it just failed again. No matter what I tried to do, nothing was changing. Even when she tried to help me, it's like my brain and my body were not just fully connecting with me. I think the worst part is I had no idea why. You know, like in my head right at that moment was like, how is this happening? How is this not working with someone right there in front of me? You know, my mind was just racing the entire time. My confidence was going down by the second. And then to make it worse, her brother ended up waking up. I had to dive under the bed and sneak out like some awkward movie scene. So at least that's a funny story. But I think the most disgusting part, the entire drive home, I was obviously frustrated. I was obviously doubting myself. But you know what I did to fix it? I went right back to the thing that caused the problem in the first place. Like, porn had such a grip on me back then, but I'm so grateful to have the tools right now to actually fix it. I hit 22 days porn free. I went to a party. I just felt more confident than ever. Like, no joke. It was just a different level of calmness. Like, I just felt so confident in me. Everything clicked. I could just fully connect with people now, especially the girls. And especially without that toxic lens that I used to have. When I was watching porn a lot, I kind of viewed women in a bad way. And it just feels like now I'm having a deeper level of relationship with people around me. It's like, you know that feeling when you just got your hair cut, you just got paid, you just got your car cleaned, you know, you're wearing your best outfit, and you're just feeling so good right now in that moment. That's exactly how I felt. Just letting go of porn is removing a huge weight off me, and the difference is right in front of me. So if you're detoxing, pay attention, and I felt like you could notice it too. I kind of wanted to break down yesterday's clip and why my confidence and my connection with others is just skyrocketing. Something finally clicked when I was like kind of thinking about it. So in the behavior profiling world, there's a concept called non-verbal leakage. Best way to imagine it is if you think about going to a party or going to a social event and you dress to impress, like you're looking good, your hair is done, your outfit's nice, everything's sharp. But back home, your floor is covered in your dirty clothes, dirty dishes are stacked up, your relationships are a mess, your bills are unpaid. No matter how good you look, people feel that something's off. It seeps through your micro expressions, your body language, your energy. And while some people may think this is like woo-woo, if you're in an airport and I told you to pick one person that has their shit together, it's not gonna take you that long to find them. You can just tell. But for me, the hidden mess, the thing that was just leaking negatively into every single interaction I was having, it was my secret addiction to porn. You know, my hours being wasted, the guilt just kind of weighing me down. It was like a silent battle, a silent burden that I was just carrying with me everywhere I went. And whether I could tell or not, people could tell. People know something's off. So now that the weight is gone, there's no more secret, there's no more monsters in the closet, there's no more incongruence. And suddenly I'm showing up differently. My presence feels more confident, more just open to the world. So if you're looking to just be more confident and just be able to build deeper connections with people around you, maybe it's not about adding more habits. Maybe it's about removing the things that are actually draining you. That's it for my rant today. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, day 24. If you're still watching, thank you. And if you're following along because you've been through this or you're going through it right now, I see you. So let me know if this is a moment that you had to face as well. Because this one, I know I say this a lot, but this one really, it really got me. So if you've ever dealt with porn-induced erectile dysfunction, You know the frustration. Like the moment where you want to get an erection, you know, you're in the moment right now, but nothing happens. No matter what you do, no matter how much you try to just fake it till you make it, no matter how much you try, nothing. Just nothing. It's like trying to start a dead engine, you know, turning the key over and over and over again, but all you get is just that empty click. And when that kept happening to me, like it happened a few times, honestly, I got pretty desperate. I thought, okay, I mean, maybe I just need a little bit of help. Maybe I just need a little boost. Maybe I need something stronger. So I bought the pills, you know, the ones that are supposed to work for everyone else. The ones that promise to just kind of fix the problem, no questions asked. And I followed every instruction, every little rule. I read the back of the box and I took them. I took the high dose version too, like the serious stuff. And I waited and I waited and I tried again and nothing. Not even a little bit of a change. It's just that same empty feeling, like my mind and my body just weren't connecting. Now, in that moment, I felt like this is serious. Like this is not just something I could patch up with a pill. Like this is not a quick fix. Something was really wrong. I led to another embarrassing moment. Another night where I had to go back home and just sit with that feeling of what's wrong with me? So it turns out those pills don't work for this kind of problem. At least they didn't for me. So if you've been through this, let me know. So I kind of want to share something that I never really talk about. It's something that I carried a lot of guilt. You see, I talk a lot about how porn destroyed my confidence, how it made me feel weak, unmotivated, stuck in my own head. But what I haven't talked about too much is how it affected the people around me and the people that I hurt, because I was just too focused in my own battle to see the damage I was really doing. You know, porn-induced erectile dysfunction, it was my reality. I remember being with a girl, someone who really cared about me. Like no matter, you know the problems. No matter what I did, no matter how much I wanted it to get up, all the exercises that I tried, it didn't work. I just couldn't get it up. And you know, the thoughts that flooded my mind, she's not gonna like me, she's probably cheating on me, she probably told all her friends. Why would anyone stay with someone like me? And I think that insecurity, that kind of empty feeling of not being enough, it didn't make me stop watching porn. It made me watch more of it. It made me chase a quick escape from the very problem that porn was causing. But the worst part, and I think the part that I get most ashamed about, is it didn't stop there. That insecurity, like the same voice in my head kind of whispering that I'm not enough, it led me to cheat on her. And like, she didn't deserve that. You know, I mean, nobody deserves that. It was like my kind of self-destructive cycle. Like I had to prove something to myself only to meet the same moment of not being able to get hard over and over and over again. I still remember like the day, like the kind of feeling that I had inside of me, the shame washing over me, knowing that I like stabbed someone in the back that really cared about me, that really trusted me too. And looking back at it, it's just like, for what? Like to chase something that porn ripped away from me in the first place. It's probably one of the biggest reasons I had to stop, because it wasn't just ruining me, it was ruining my relationships, you know, my ability to just connect, and my ability just to be a person that I could respect in myself. And until I just like completely let go of porn, I mean, I don't think I would ever escape that cycle. But we're 25 days clean, about to hit 30 soon. See you tomorrow. I remember there was a time I had like a hidden folder on my, phone and my photos, and I had like 1.2 thousand photos, Instagram pictures of girls online, porn videos. There would be moments where I would look at it, I would get post-nut clarity, and I'll just delete everything. Like I could just delete it all with a couple clicks, But like a month later, I'd have 400 pictures again, and it wasn't even like one time. This is like 10, 15, 20 times I did this. But I think like a disgusting part of this is sometimes I'll be sitting there going through my hidden folder, choosing which ones to delete and which ones to keep. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm only gonna keep the ones I need. Like I fucking needed them. Same thing with my notes. A whole notes filled with porn links. My own personal stash, just like right there. It was a nasty place, and I really couldn't see a way out of it. So yeah, getting to this point, actually having the tools to stop, to break out of something that I didn't really think I could, I'm just grateful. So I'll see you guys on day 27. Day 27, almost 30 days free from porn and masturbating, and it feels unreal. I can't even tell you how many times I tried to quit before. Like forcing myself to quit, you know, relying on just willpower, only to go right back a couple days later, sometimes even the day of. Nothing really stuck until now. And just remembering all those bad times, I'm really grateful for it. Like every single failed attempt was worth it. Every struggle, every moment of doubt. Because now that it finally clicked with me, I remember there was a time I believed I was never gonna break free. Like this is just who I was. I just watched porn. Like it was just wired into me. Something I was just gonna be stuck with forever. And just thinking about it, it's depressing. Like I dug myself so deep inside of a hole I couldn't even see a way out. But then in Austin, I heard something that really shifted my perspective on this. So the instructor was standing in front of the classroom, we had our notebooks out, and he said, imagine you had a kid. At what point do you give up on them if they're struggling to learn the ABCs? So why would you treat yourself any different? And that hit me hard. Maybe it'll hit someone else the same way. But I'll see you guys tomorrow on day 28. Since yesterday, I've been kind of reflecting why it was so hard for me to stop. And I think the real reason I couldn't stop was because I wanted to stop, but I didn't need to. And I think that's the problem. Like wanting to quit, it's not enough. It can't just be something that sounds nice. It can't just be something that you hope happens one day. I feel like you need a reason so fucking deep, so painful, that stopping isn't even a choice. It's the only option. So I think what changed for me was having to go through so many of those embarrassing moments from porn-induced erectile dysfunction at 20 years old. And I just couldn't imagine a whole life like this where pills couldn't even help me. So really think, like, are you about to lose your family over this? Is porn robbing you of the ability to connect with a real woman and get hard with them? Are you stabbing yourself in the back every single day, destroying your confidence, killing the part of you that actually wants to be better? What's your reason? Because when you find it, you feel it. So quitting doesn't just become easier, but it actually becomes possible. See you guys tomorrow on day 29. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but 30 days, we're almost there. And honestly, it never felt possible, like not for me. So if you've been following along, I just want you to know I'm proud of you. Proud that you're even wanting to change, that you're looking into change, because that takes some real guts, like admitting that you have a problem, especially like this. I feel like for the first time in forever, I feel light. Like all this hidden baggage, I'm able just to let go of it now. I don't know if I can even put it into real words, how much I really wanted this. How many times I told myself this was the last time, but in the back of my mind, kind of knowing I was lying to myself, like it messed with me. It made me feel weak. It made me feel like I was never gonna get out. But this, hitting 30 days clean, it feels like I found a part of myself that either I didn't know was there or that was lost. Like I didn't know I had this much discipline. I didn't know I had this much confidence. I didn't know I had this much happiness under all of this. I guess it was just hidden under years of telling myself and just backstabbing myself. I'm just so happy because I couldn't keep going down this road. Like I just knew that for a fact. So we're almost there. Day 30, the first milestone, and we'll see you tomorrow. Let me just say, this feels unbelievable. Like this is the first milestone. Trust me, it felt impossible for me before, but we're finally here. And was it easy? Not at all. The difference is I'm not acting on them anymore. I'm not just giving into them anymore. And it feels powerful to have this much control over myself. And I'm so damn proud of myself. And I'm even more excited just to step into this new life. I mean, we talked about how porn straight up fucked up my brain. Caused temporary ED where I couldn't even really get hard with a real girl. But from everything I've seen, it can start healing on like day 90. Sooner, but most time like day 90. That's when things start really resetting. So stay tuned for that. But right now, I can't even describe the weight being lifted off. No more chains, no more burden dragging me down, no more guilt. And if me putting this out there even helped one of you, and if you took even one thing that helped you towards stopping or that pushed you towards quitting, this has all been worth it. And I don't want to give you like an emotional speech right now, but seriously, If you think that you're in too deep, you're not. You can stop if you want to. If you have the right tools, if you have the right help, if you have the right reason, you can change your life like I have. But trust me, this will not be the last time you see me. So until next time.